Naomi's lungs burned
You're
as she
safe
ran
now.
through Seoul's dark streets.
What about my
Blood
children?
dripped from
All
a
of
cut
you.
above her eyebrow. Her clothes were
You're
torn,
safe now.
and her bare feet screamed with
What about
every
my
step on
children?
the cold pavement.
All of you.
Behind her, voices shouted in angry Korean. She didn't understand the words, but she understood the threat. 3 days ago, she'd escaped the trafficking house where she'd been held for 2 months. 2 months of horror she'd survived only by pretending to comply while planning her escape. Now she was free, but hunted, homeless, alone in a foreign country where she didn't speak the language. The streets blurred as exhaustion took over. She turned a corner and saw it, a massive mansion behind iron gates, lit up like a fortress. Guards in black suits stood at attention. This was clearly someone powerful, someone dangerous. But Naomi had nothing left to lose. She stumbled toward the gates, her vision darkening. The last thing she saw before collapsing was the shocked faces of the guards as she fell at their feet, whispering in broken English, "Please, help me." The guards immediately drew weapons, surrounding the collapsed woman. "What is this?" one barked in Korean. "A trap?" "She's injured," another said, kneeling carefully. "Bleeding. Looks like she's been running for days. Could be a distraction. Call it in." The head guard spoke into his radio. "Sir, we have a situation at the front gate. A woman, foreign, collapsed and asking for help." Inside the mansion,
Please, I need help.
Contagion
My
set down his
children.
whiskey glass.
Oh, back
Foreign
in
woman?
and beg you, help
Black,
us!
American maybe, injured,
Please, I
possibly
need
being
help. My
pursued.
children!
Tajin's expression
back in and
hardened.
beg you,
His
help
estate
us!
was a fortress. Nobody approached
Please,
these
I
gates
need
by
help. My
accident.
children!
Could be a setup from the
Oh,
Park
back in
family,
and
the
beg
second
you,
in
help
command
us!
suggested, testing our security. Or someone desperate. Tajin said quietly. He stood, adjusting his suit jacket. "I'll see for myself." "Sir, that's not protocol. I don't care about protocol. If she's dangerous, I'll handle it. If she's not." He paused at the door. Then someone explained to me how a terrified woman ended up at my gates. 3 minutes later, Tajin stood before the iron gates, looking down at the unconscious woman. Her face was bruised, her clothes bloodied. But even in this broken state, something about her struck him. Her hands were clutched together as if in prayer, and on her wrist, barely visible, was a tattoo, a small bird. His breath caught. "Open the gates." "Sir?" The head guard looked shocked. "Open them. Bring her inside, carefully. But the security risk is mine to manage. Do it, now." The guards exchanged uncertain glances but obeyed. 2 of them lifted Naomi gently, carrying her through the gates and into the mansion's entrance hall. Tajin followed, his mind racing. That tattoo, that specific bird design, it couldn't be coincidence. "Take her to the East guest room. Call Dr. Kim. Tell him it's urgent and discreet." "Should we search her for weapons?" "Yes, but gently, and have female staff present." As the guards carried Naomi away, Tajin's assistant approached. "Sir, this is highly irregular. We don't know who she is or why she's here." "I know exactly why she's here." Tajin's voice was cold. "She's running from something, or someone." "And you're just going to shelter her? A complete stranger?" "She's not a complete stranger." Tajin turned away. "Have security review all surveillance footage from the past hour. I want to know if anyone followed her here. And if they did, then we have a conversation about boundaries and consequences." An hour later, Dr. Kim emerged from the guest room. "She's stable, dehydrated, malnourished, multiple contusions, but she'll recover with rest." "Good. When she wakes, I want to know immediately." "May I ask why you're doing this, sir?" Tajin didn't answer. He couldn't. Not yet. Naomi woke to unfamiliar softness, a real bed, clean sheets, bandages on her wounds. For a moment, she thought she was dreaming, or dead. Then pain reminded her she was very much alive. She sat up slowly, looking around. The room was enormous, elegantly furnished, with floor-to-ceiling windows showing a manicured garden, nothing like the hellhole she'd escaped from. The door opened. A young woman in a maid's uniform entered with a tray. "Oh, you're awake. I'll tell Mr. Kang." "Wait," Naomi's voice was hoarse. "Where am I?" "Mr. Kang's estate. You're safe here." The maid smiled gently. "I'll bring food." She left before Naomi could ask more questions. Minutes later, the door opened again. A man entered, tall, impeccably dressed in a black suit, his presence filling the room with quiet authority. Naomi recognized power when she saw it. This was the owner, the boss. "You're awake," he said in perfect English. "How do you feel?" "Like I got hit by a truck. Who are you?" "Kang Tae-jin. This is my home. You collapsed at my gates last night. And you let me in. Naomi was suspicious. Why? Because you asked for shelter. And because, he paused, studying her face. Because I had questions. What questions? Why were you running? Who were you running from? And where did you get that tattoo? He pointed to her wrist. Naomi instinctively covered her wrist. It's personal. Everything about you showing up at my gates is personal, Taejin said. I'm a private man. I don't let strangers into my home, but I let you in. So answer the question. Their eyes met. Naomi saw something in his gaze, not threat, but genuine curiosity, maybe even concern. I got it when I was 16, she said quietly. After my sister died, she loved birds, said they represented freedom. Your sister. Taejin's expression shifted subtly. How did she die? Why does that matter? It matters. Trust me. Naomi studied him carefully. She'd learned to read people. It had kept her alive. This man was dangerous, clearly, but he wasn't threatening her, at least not yet. She was trafficked, taken from our hometown in America when she was 17. We never found her. Naomi's voice broke. I got this tattoo to remember her, to honor her dream of being free. Taejin was silent for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was different, softer. What was her name? Maya. Maya Thompson. Why? Because 8 years ago, I helped rescue a group of trafficked women from a container ship in Busan. One of them was American. She had that same tattoo. She told me about her sister before she died in the hospital. The room tilted. Naomi couldn't breathe. What did you just say? Your sister. Maya. Taejin's voice was careful.
We have to move now. They know we're here.
She made it to Korea.
There's no
made
time
it
for
to
questions.
A hospital,
Just follow me.
But the trauma was too much.
We have
she
to move
died
now.
3 days
They know
after
we're
we
here.
found her.
There's
Naomi's
no time for
world
questions.
shattered.
Just follow
You're
me.
lying. I'm not. I have files, records. She told the social worker about her younger sister Naomi, about the matching tattoos. Tears streamed down Naomi's face. She was here in Korea? Yes. And in her final hours, she made me promise something. Taejin sat down across from her. She made me promise that if I ever met someone with that tattoo, I'd protect them. She said her sister would need help someday. So that's why you let me in. Obligation. Partly, but also because, he trailed off. When I saw you at the gates, looking exactly how Maya looked when we found her, broken but still fighting, I couldn't turn away. Naomi wiped her eyes. Who are you? Really? Someone who tried to save your sister and failed. Someone who's been trying to shut down trafficking networks ever since. Someone who, he stood, someone who understands being hunted. You're Mafia. It wasn't a question. Yes, which means I have resources to keep you safe, if you'll let me. Naomi looked at this powerful, dangerous man who'd known her sister in her final moments. What do you want from me? Nothing, except maybe the chance to keep a promise I made to Maya. That evening, Taejin insisted Naomi join him for dinner. She'd been given clean clothes, designer outfits that fit perfectly. A staff member had treated her wounds properly. She looked almost human again. The dining room was formal, intimidating. Taejin sat at the head of a long table. Naomi sat to his right, feeling completely out of place. You don't have to be nervous, he said as staff served food. I'm in a mafia boss's mansion. Nervous is appropriate. I'm not going to hurt you. You say that, but I've heard that before. The bitterness in her voice was clear. Taejin set down his fork. Tell me what happened, how you ended up in Korea. Naomi hesitated. Then slowly, she began. I came here looking for Maya. I'd heard rumors about trafficking routes to Asia, spent 2 years saving money for the trip. When I got here, I asked the wrong people the wrong questions. And they took you. Locked me in a house with 12 other women, said I'd be sold to the highest bidder. Her hands shook. I waited, learned the guards' patterns, and 3 days ago I ran. How did you end up at my gates specifically? Luck, fear, desperation. I was just running. They ate in silence. Then Taejin said quietly, You're safe now. I meant what I said. You can stay here as long as you need. Why are you being so kind? Because Maya asked me to be, and because, he met her eyes, because I know what it's like to be powerless. And I swore I'd never let that happen to someone I could help. Later that night, Naomi couldn't sleep. She explored the mansion carefully, half expecting someone to stop her. Instead, she found Taejin on a balcony staring at the city lights. Can't sleep either? He asked without turning. Too many thoughts. She joined him at the railing. This is a beautiful prison. It's not a prison. You're free to leave anytime. Am I? Really? She looked at him. Because I don't speak Korean, have no money, no passport. They took it, and there are men out there looking for me, which is why leaving right now would be suicide. So I'm a protected prisoner. You're a guest under my protection. There's a difference." Naomi laughed bitterly. "Is there? Because from where I'm standing, I've just traded one cage for another. A nicer one, sure, but still a cage." Tae-jin turned to face her fully. "I run a criminal organization. I make my living in shadows. But I'm not a monster, Naomi, and I don't hold people against their will." "Then what are you?" "Someone trying to be better than the world expects. Someone who failed your sister and won't fail you." The sincerity in his voice caught her off guard. "I don't know if I can trust you." "I know, but I'll prove it, day by day." They stood in silence, two broken people finding unexpected shelter in each other's company. "Thank you," Naomi whispered,
I
"for not
appreciate you
turning me
joining me
away.
tonight.
Thank you for
course, we
giving
have
me a
much to
chance to
discuss.
keep a promise."
Indeed. Let's begin with
The
the
nightmares
partnership.
came that night.
I
Naomi
appreciate
woke
you joining me
screaming,
tonight.
tangled in
Of course,
sheets,
we have much
back
to
in that
discuss.
trafficking
Indeed.
house in her
Let's
mind.
begin with the
The
partnership.
door burst open. Tae-jin stood there in a t-shirt and pants, flanked by two guards. "What happened?" "Nothing, just bad dreams." She was shaking. Tae-jin dismissed the guards. "May I?" He gestured to the chair by her bed. She nodded. He sat, keeping distance between them. "Want to talk about it?" "Not really," but the words came anyway. "I keep seeing their faces. The other women. I escaped, but they're still there, probably being sold right now while I'm in this mansion eating gourmet food." "That's survivor's guilt. It's reality." Naomi's voice cracked. "I saved myself and left them. You had no choice. If you'd tried to save them, you'd all be dead or recaptured." "How do you know?" "Because I've run those kinds of operations. Trafficking houses are fortresses. One person escaping is nearly impossible. Saving others?" He shook his head. "Suicide mission." "So I'm supposed to just forget them?" "No, you're supposed to survive, heal, and when you're strong enough, help me shut down the organization that took you." Naomi looked up sharply. "What? I told you, I've been fighting trafficking networks since Maya died. You can give me information, locations, faces, details. Help me destroy them from the inside." "You do that?" "I'm already doing it, but you could help, when you're ready, not before." For the first time since collapsing at his gates, Naomi felt something other than fear. Purpose. The next morning, Tae-jin showed Naomi something she didn't expect, a wall in his private office covered with photos, maps, and documents. "This is my project," he said. 8 years of tracking trafficking routes through Korea." Naomi stared at the evidence. Dozens of houses, hundreds of faces. "All of this?" "Your sister's death changed me. I realized my organization's power could be used for something beyond profit." He pointed to a section of the wall. "These networks are connected. They work together, and they're protected by people in government, police, even my own world. Why hasn't anyone stopped them? Because they're powerful, and most people don't care enough to try. But you do. I made a promise to Maya, to all the women like her." He turned to Naomi. "And now I'm making one to you. The people who took you, they won't hurt anyone else." Naomi approached the wall, and then she saw it, a photo of a house, the house where she'd been held. "That's it," she breathed. "That's where I was." Tae-jin was beside her instantly. "You're sure?" "Positive. I'd recognize that door anywhere." She pointed. "That's where they kept us. 3rd floor, 6 rooms." "How many guards?" 4 that I saw, maybe more." Tae-jin pulled out his phone, taking photos of her pointing to the location. "This is exactly what I needed. With your testimony and this identification, I can move." "Move how?" "Carefully, strategically. But I promise you, Naomi, that house will be empty within 2 weeks." But someone else was also watching. In a warehouse across the city, a man named Park Jang studied surveillance photos of Tae-jin's mansion. "She's there, the girl who escaped." "Are you certain?" his lieutenant asked. "Positive. Our informant inside Kang's organization confirmed it." Park smiled coldly. "Interesting. Kang Tae-jin harboring a trafficking victim. That's unlike him. Maybe he's planning something. Or maybe," Park's smile widened, "maybe he's getting soft. That woman is a loose end. She can identify the house,
is
the
delightful.
guards, the operation.
I'm glad you're
We need to
enjoying it.
eliminate her before she
The
becomes
company
a
makes
problem.
it perfect.
I agree.
Attacking Kang's estate
This
is
is
suicide.
delightful.
Not
I'm glad
attacking,
you're enjoying it.
infiltrating.
The company makes
We
it
have
perfect.
people everywhere,
agree.
even in his organization." Park picked up his phone. "Tell our insider to prepare. The woman dies this week." Back at Tae-jin's mansion, security was already tightening. His head of security, Min-woo, appeared at his office. "Sir, We've detected unusual activity. Someone's been probing our systems. The Park family? Most likely. They know something. They know about Naomi. Tay. Jin's jaw tightened. Double the guards. Nobody enters or leaves without my direct approval. Sir, if Park is coming for her, he won't get her. I don't care what it costs. She's under my protection. That means something. Yes, sir. But may I ask, why? Why risk everything for this woman? Taijin was quiet. Then, because I failed someone like her once, I won't do it again. The attack came 3 nights later. Not loud or obvious, just a quiet poisoning attempt in Naomi's dinner. The maid who served it didn't know the food was tainted. She was as much a victim as Naomi would have been. But Taijin's paranoia saved them. He'd ordered all food tasted before serving. The food taster collapsed within minutes. Lock down the estate, Taijin commanded immediately. Find out who prepared that meal. Now. Within an hour, they had the culprit, a kitchen staff member who'd been working there for 6 months. Who ordered you to do this? Taijin's voice was ice. The man was terrified. Park Jae-sung. He said he'd kill my family if I didn't. Said the woman upstairs was dangerous, that she'd destroy everything. So you tried to murder her. I had no choice. You always have a choice. Taijin turned to Minwoo. Remove him. Deal with him appropriately. Then contact Park. Tell him if he wants war, he'll get it. Upstairs, Naomi had no idea how close she'd come to death until Taijin appeared at her door. We need to move you. Immediately. What happened? Someone tried to kill you, inside my own house. His rage was barely controlled. I'm moving you to a more secure location, somewhere only I and my most trusted people know about. I'm putting you in danger. You're the one in danger, and I'm the one who promised to protect you. So pack. We leave in 20 minutes. The safe house was smaller, quieter, hidden in the mountains outside Seoul. Just Taijin, Naomi, and 2 guards he'd personally trained. Tell me everything, Taijin said that night, about the trafficking house. Every detail you remember. So Naomi told him. The address, the layout, the guards' schedules, the number of women, the buyers who came late at night, the way they sorted women by appearance, language, and perceived value. They kept records, she said. Physical files in an office on the 2nd floor. Names, photos, prices, everything. That's evidence, concrete evidence. But it's in the house, guarded. How would you even? I have ways, but I need to know if you're certain. If I move on this, it must be perfect. Naomi met his eyes. I'm certain that house destroyed lives, is still destroying them. If you can shut it down, I can, and I will. But Naomi, once I do this, there's no going back. The people running this operation will know someone talked. They'll come after you harder. They're already trying to kill me. What's the difference? The difference is I can hide you now. After this, you'll need to disappear. New identity, new life. I can arrange it, but you'll lose everything familiar. Naomi thought of Maya, of the women still trapped. Then I'll lose it. Some things are worth more than comfort. Taijin nodded slowly.
Control the team, we have movement on Sector 5.
Or more broken.
All units converge on the east entrance.
Sometimes. While planning the raid,
Control the team, we have movement on Sector 5.
Changed everything.
All units converge on the east entrance.
He pulled out an old file. This was Maya's, from the hospital. Naomi took it with shaking hands, medical records, photos, and a handwritten note. To my sister Naomi, if you ever find this, I'm sorry I couldn't come home. I'm sorry I wasn't strong enough. But please don't come looking for me. Don't let my fate become yours. Live, be free. That's all I ever wanted for you. Love, Maya. Naomi's tears fell on the paper. She knew I'd come looking. She also knew you'd need help if you did. That's why she told me about you, described you, made me promise. Taijin pulled out another paper, and she left you something. It was a bank account, in Naomi's name, set up 8 years ago, with a substantial amount. Maya had money hidden. Before she was taken, she told the social worker about it, made them set up this account for you. How much? Enough to start over. Anywhere in the world. It's yours. It's always been yours. Naomi stared at the numbers. Her sister had thought of her even while dying. She saved me. Even after death, she was trying to save me. That's what love does. It survives, Taijin said quietly. And now I understand why she was so insistent. You're not just any victim. You're Maya's sister, which makes protecting you not just an obligation, it's an honor. The betrayal came from inside. Minwoo, Taejin's head of security,
I can't do
had
this
been
anymore.
feeding
It's
information
tearing
to
me
the Park
apart.
family for
I'm
months.
so scared.
Why?
Please
Taejin
stay with
asked
me.
when they caught him. They were in
I
the
can't do
safe
this
house
anymore.
basement.
It's tearing me apart.
Naomi was
I'm so
upstairs,
scared.
unaware.
Please stay
Because
with
you've
me.
gone soft.
I can't do this
Minwoo's
anymore.
voice
It's
was
tearing
bitter.
me apart.
8 years
I'm
ago,
so
you were
scared.
ruthless,
Please stay
feared.
with me.
Now you're playing hero for trafficking victims, risking everything for some woman. That woman is under my protection. And that protection is making you weak. Park offered me everything. Money, position, power. All I had to do was deliver her. So, you tried to poison her. I tried to save this organization from your weakness. Taejin's expression was cold. You betrayed me, endangered an innocent woman, and you think you were saving anything? I was saving your reputation. My reputation is mine to manage, and it will survive. Will yours? What Taejin did next, he did cleanly. Not violently. He'd promised Naomi he wasn't a monster, but effectively. By morning, Minwoo was gone, disappeared, his family compensated and relocated, his betrayal erased from record. What happened? Naomi asked when she noticed the tension. A problem was solved. You're safer now. Did you hurt someone? I protected you. That's all that matters. But Naomi saw the weight in his eyes, saw what it cost him to make hard choices. Thank you, she said quietly, for choosing me. I'll always choose you. Maya made me promise, and I keep my promises. The raid happened at dawn. Taejin's team moved with military precision. Naomi wasn't there. He'd refused to let her near the danger. But she waited at the safe house, pacing, praying. The call came 4 hours later. It's done, Taejin's voice said through the phone. The house is empty. The women are safe. The evidence is secured. Naomi collapsed in relief. All of them? 14 women, from 6 different countries. They're being processed now. Medical care, temporary housing, legal help, all of it. And the people running it? In custody, along with enough evidence to destroy their entire network. His voice carried satisfaction. This is the biggest bust in years. Headlines will run for months. Will my name? Will never appear anywhere. You're completely protected. I made sure of that. Naomi's tears were falling freely now. You did it. You actually did it. We did it. Your information made this possible. When Taejin returned to the safe house, he looked exhausted but triumphant. Naomi met him at the door. Thank you for everything, for believing me, for protecting me, for keeping your promise to Maya. Thank you for being brave enough to survive, to help, to trust me despite everything. They stood there, 2 damaged people who'd somehow found purpose in each other. What happens now? Naomi asked. Now you decide. Your sister's money, your new identity. You can go anywhere, be anyone. And if I want to stay, here, with you. Taejin's expression shifted. That's dangerous. So is everything else I've survived. That night, Taejin broke. The stress, the betrayal, the weight of years of fighting darkness, it all crashed down. Naomi found him on the balcony, face in his hands. Taejin? I'm fine. But he wasn't. She sat beside him. Talk to me. I've done terrible things, he said quietly. Built my empire on fear, hurt people, made choices I can't take back. But you've also saved people, including me. That doesn't balance the scales. Maybe not. But it's a start. She took his hand carefully. You're not the man you were 8 years ago. Maya's death changed you. You've been trying to be better. Trying isn't enough. It's everything. Trying is how we survive, how we heal, how we become more than our worst moments. Taejin looked at her, this woman who'd been through hell and somehow still had kindness left. How are you so strong? I'm not. I'm terrified every day. But I'm also alive. And that means I get to choose who I become next. Who do you want to become? Someone free. Someone who helps others the way you helped me. Someone who makes Maya proud. She paused. What about you? Who do you want to be? Someone worthy of your trust, of Maya's trust. Someone who actually deserves redemption instead of just claiming it. Then be that person, starting now. For the first time since she'd met him, Taejin smiled, really smiled. Okay, starting now. And in that moment, something shifted between them. Not romance, not yet, but possibility, hope, partnership, a future neither had expected. 3 months passed. Naomi healed, physically and emotionally. She learned Korean, started therapy, began planning a future. The trafficking network collapsed completely. 37 people arrested. 42 women rescued in total from various locations. Headlines called it the biggest victory against human trafficking in Korean history, and Naomi was at the center of it all. Anonymous, but essential. You're different, Taejin said one morning over breakfast. How? Lighter, like some weight lifted. Because I'm not running anymore, not hiding. For the first time in years, I feel like I can breathe. Naomi paused. Thank you for giving me that. You gave it to yourself. I just provided the space. Don't minimize what you did. You saved my life, multiple times. And you saved mine, Taejin said softly, just by showing up, by making me remember why I started fighting in the first place. They'd grown closer over the months, not physically. Taejin was careful about boundaries, but emotionally. They talked for hours, shared meals, walked the gardens, found comfort in each other's company. I have something for you, Taejin said. He pulled out papers. New identity, complete, legal. You're officially Naomi Chen now, American-Korean citizen, with all the documents you need to live anywhere. Chen? My mother's maiden name, clean, untraceable, safe. Naomi stared at the papers. Her new life, official and real. What if I don't want to leave? Then you don't, but the option is always there.
Me too, so
Freedom
much.
is always there. Thank you for everything, for giving me choices instead of cages.
Me too, so much.
6 months after collapsing at Taejin's gates, Naomi stood in front of a room full of trafficking survivors.
Me too,
She'd
so
started a
much.
support group, using Maya's money and Taejin's resources. My name is Naomi, she began, and 6 months ago I was where many of you are now, scared, broken, unsure if life could ever feel normal again.
I trust you.
She told her story. Not all of it. Some wounds were still too fresh. But enough to let them know she understood. You survived, she said. That makes you stronger than you know. And with support, with time, with people who care, you can do more than survive. You can live, really live. After the meeting, one young woman approached her. Thank you for giving us hope. Thank you for being brave enough to come here, to try. Taejin watched from the doorway, pride evident in his expression. Later he told her, you're remarkable. You turned your pain into purpose. I learned from you. You turned your guilt into action. We make a good team. Yeah, we do. They'd never defined what they were to each other, more than allies, deeper than friends, but neither had been brave enough to name it, until Naomi asked, what are we? Really? Taejin considered carefully. We're two people who found each other in the darkness, who chose to be better together than we could be alone. Who? He stopped. Who love each other, Naomi finished. Even if it's complicated, especially because it's complicated. He took her hand. Is that okay? It's perfect. 1 year after Naomi collapsed at those iron gates, everything had changed. Taejin had legitimized significant parts of his organization, still powerful, still connected, but cleaner, focused on protection rather than exploitation. Naomi ran her support network full-time, helping survivors rebuild, using her experience to guide others through trauma. They'd become partners in every sense. Not married, they both agreed that was too fast, too complicated, but committed, building something real. I want to show you something, Taejin said on the anniversary of that first night. He led her to the garden where a new structure stood, a memorial, beautiful and simple, with Maya's name at the center. For your sister, for all the women we couldn't save, so they're never forgotten. Naomi's tears fell freely. It's perfect. Around Maya's name were others, women lost to trafficking, names Taejin had collected over 8 years of fighting, a reminder of why they did this work. Thank you, Naomi whispered, for remembering her, for honoring her, for keeping your promise. Thank you for giving me a reason to keep it, for showing me redemption is possible, he took her hand, for choosing to stay. They stood before the memorial as Seoul's lights began to glow in the distance. Two broken people who'd found shelter in each other, who'd turned pain into purpose, who'd proven that even in the darkest circumstances, humanity could survive. Naomi looked at Taejin. I love you too, always. The story that began with desperate flight ended with chosen peace. And somewhere, Naomi believed Maya was smiling.